On 14th February, Year 2 students of Communication Studies were invited to attend a seminar organized by Mrs. Christina Chan Mitu. The theme for this seminar was Multi-Stakeholder Governance for the Internet, and it was presented by Professor Jan R. Scholte from Leiden University, Sweden. He spoke about the evolution of the Internet and the period ahead.
If 5.5 billion people spend 6 hours and 49 minutes average per day on the internet, it means that in 1 year, 1.4 billion human years are on the internet.
He reiterated the fact that Internet has good aspects as well.
Well, it's not necessarily bad or good. It depends on the rules that we make. So when you look at the internet has many good aspects. It has created immense possibilities. We have so much more information available to us. We have so much access to other parts of the world. In the marketplace, we can have quite a bit of choice. It's much easier to go from one website to another than to go from one shop to another in the street. So you could say there are also positive things.
Students were also explained about the difference between government and governance.
I'm aware that governance is more than government. What is interesting is rules. What are the rules? Who makes them? What effects do they have? Traditionally, when we think about rules in society, what they are, we say the statutes, the laws that come from, who makes them? The government. And then we look at the implications and the effects of the government laws. And we say that is governing society. Government is then governing.
Professor Jan stated that unlike what people think, it is not only governments that have power around the world, but other stakeholders as well.
Business companies, United Nations, African Union, lots of other actors, lots of other places are also making rules in society. They are also governing. So governance, is all of those actors together. Government is one of them. An important one, but not the only one.
Professor Jan also explained about cookies on the internet.
With the cookies, like we said, in a way it's a choice that isn't a choice. Because if you don't tick the box, you don't go to the website. So it's not really a choice. And one of the things to worry about is those situations where we don't have choice. So with the cookies, the rules, as I say, in this case are mainly coming from the European Union, translated into Mauritian law. Where there is not choice, then you can worry a little bit. And one of the main big problems these days is that in the internet, it's a small number of very big companies that have most of the control. Google, Alibaba, Tencent, Microsoft, Apple, you know them. And this is the scary thing. Everyone in the world knows them because they're so powerful. They're everywhere. And no government is controlling them. And they control very large parts of the market.
He also implied what the near future holds would depend on regulatory apparatuses.
But if we look ahead in the period ahead, I think a lot of it will depend on the evolution of the regulatory apparatuses. And again, one of the ways to make sure that the regulatory apparatuses develop in a good way is for people to know that they exist and how they operate.
Professor Jan stated that journalists teach people more than teachers. He also gave advice to aspiring students on how to be a good journalist.
Journalists teach people much more than teachers, actually, if you think about it. Well, certainly more than professors. You hear me for half an hour today, but you will hear journalists every day of your life because they are giving you reports and telling you what's going on. So journalists have a big responsibility. Big responsibility to let people know how the world works.
Earlier on, you said journalists teach people more than teachers, right? So, what advice would you like to give to us young aspiring journalists?
Well, if you are going to have a teaching role, if you are going to be an educator, then it is important to be educated yourself. In my experience through life in encountering journalists, one of the things that distinguishes a good journalist from a not so good journalist is being well informed and wanting to get the story right. Some journalists just want to get the story. They want to get the spot in the newspaper, they want to get the slot on the radio program. But they are not necessarily as interested in educating well. They are interested in promoting themselves. And I think that makes a big difference.
The seminar ended with a few pictures, and surely it was a great learning experience for the students.